Okay, so welcome everyone to Sharks BA Learning Run for the month of September. Okay, this is Shark speaking. Okay, I hope you guys can hear me. Now, it's already 1:48 on my time. Okay, I'm at +8 GMT. So it's 48 on the clock, and we will be trying to finalize everyone's attendance as well as to ping players who have not shown up yet. Okay, to sort of ensure that everyone is here before we zone into Hyder toss. Okay, at no later than 2 p.m. So 11 minutes from now, okay, I will do a ready check and then we will zone into the instance. Now, there's a couple of things that I want to cover before we get started. Okay, but first and foremost, okay, once again, for those on in the VC who can hear me now, help me to kindly type out in your party chat to ask all your party members to join us on the VC. Okay, it'll be a lot easier for communications if everyone can actually hear me giving out instructions, okay, rather than having to manually ensure that everyone's on the same page. Okay, help ask everyone to join us on VC. Now, having said this, if there's anyone who is unable to hop onto the voice chat, is okay, okay, but they need to let the party know. So if for whatever reason someone is unable to hop onto the VC, that's fine. Okay, I've had cases where people have certain issues with their voice communications and they cannot join. They just need to let the party know. So if there's important information that needs to be disseminated, parties, please help to type it out to your party members who are not on the VC. Okay, other than that, we are just for all the party leaders in who are holding on to the PFs, it will help me greatly to check for the attendance by ticking off the names on the spreadsheet. So if you notice the sign up sheet on the team assignments page, there are all these red tick boxes on the spreadsheet. If you could help me to just tick them off for your party members. Okay, if you are here, you are in the party, tick off your name. If you see your party member is here, they are in your party as well, help me to tick their names off as well. Okay, this helps me to get a feel of how many players are here already. Okay, what are the roles that we still need to account for. Okay, and if there's any lags or any gaps we will need to fill up, okay, it will help me to fill these up as well. Okay, and it gives a better overview of how many members we are fielding. Now, today's session, and actually all of my practice sessions, will be fielding a maximum of 32 players. Okay, for BA, we usually are allocated a maximum of 48, but I will only field 32, leaving 16 spots available for anyone to take. Okay, so basically what happens is that I will leave 16 spots available for randoms. Okay, basically, because BA is an open instance, we cannot gatekeep it. In other words, if players want to join us by trying to enter with us as we go into BA itself, we cannot stop them from doing so because it is designed in this manner. Okay, anyone can literally click into a portal to enter into BA, which I'll explain later on for new players. Okay, but we cannot gatekeep it, hence the allocation of 16 spare slots for anyone who wishes to join. Okay, we only field 32, there are 16 spare slots. Now, usually what happens for my practice runs is that if there are veterans in the run, what usually happens is that they will join us in our run by taking the remaining portals left after most of the new players have entered into BA. Okay, once again, I'll explain the process of entry into BA once we actually zone into Hyder toss itself. Okay, so do bear with me. Now, before we finalize our parties and zone into Hyder toss, there's a couple of things that I would like all of you to check before we do ready checks and zone in. Okay, now for those players who are not here yet, okay, or if you're in a party and your party members are not present, do help me to ping them on the Discord if possible. So for example, let's say team 3, okay, I'm looking at team 3 now, the names are being ticked off, thank you very much. Okay, but for example, let's say if Angeline is not here, okay, from team 3, then it will be nice to just drop them a ping, a courtesy ping on the Discord, okay, either in the lounge channel or in the party status channel. Okay, it doesn't really matter where, as long as in one of those Eureka related channels. Okay, I think Kelly has done that already. Thanks,
I have.
Kelly. Yep.
Yeah.
So basically, you can see what Kelly is doing. She's just dropping pings for the people who have signed up and assigned themselves to teams, but have not shown up yet. Hence, the necessity to get you guys to help me to tick off the names so that I know that no, they are here or not here. Okay, we usually drop a courtesy ping. Sometimes people forget the timing, or they misunderstood what time it starts. So dropping them a courtesy ping allows them to hop on if they can make it. Okay, however, if let's say they don't respond or don't reply, then the latest by 6 more minutes we will zone in. There will be a wait time before the fate that starts off the BA begins. They have up to that point of time to show up before the cutoff happens. In other words, if they miss that entry fate, then they will no longer be able to join. Okay, do understand that for BA, I'm generally quite relaxed on the attendance simply because of the way that people enter into BA. Okay, once again, later on, there'll be a process where players will quote unquote fight to enter into BA, and I cannot control this process. Hence, the cavalier attitude towards attendance. If they don't get into the actual BA, regardless of whether they signed up, they show up on time, they join the party, and they did everything correct, but they fail to enter into BA later on, I cannot do anything about it. You need to secure your own entry into BA later on to actually join us for the run. Hence, this cavalier attitude towards the attendance. So it's not because I don't care too much about the attendance, but it's just that you actually need to get into the VA to join us for the run. Okay, the spreadsheeting is just to make sure that we have enough players to actually have a run. We have all the roles covered. Okay, and it also helps us to give a courtesy ping to those players who signed up. But sometimes things happen, they forget, okay, or they misunderstood the timing, etc., etc. Okay, so
Okay. Can I interject
yeah,
for
sure,
a
go ahead.
second? Curio, we have a space for a healer in Team 3 or Team 4. If you want them in your team, they're welcome to join Team 3. Two of our healers haven't shown up. I'm not sure about your third person.
Actually, thank you. I'm gonna invite them now. Can you give me the password again so I can send it to them so they can join the
1337.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. All right. Nia's also asked something in chat. Sure.
What's the question? Sorry.
If Ovni spawns before we enter, would you like her to call a specific time for BA?
Yes, then just call a late one. I think Nia's in the PC, right? Yeah, Nia, if you're here, just help me call a late time for the start time. But we'll try to zone in 4 minutes. We'll try to zone in before 2 p.m. Okay, so at this point of time, I will just cover what you should have with you prior to entry. Okay, and then afterwards we will do a ready checks. No, actually Kelly said Nia, not Neve. But if Neve is here as well, that's nice. Okay, now.
What?
For those players who are new, first timers, there's a couple of things that you need to bring in with you for BA. Once we zone into Hydatos, we try to avoid leaving the instance and grabbing stuff. So let's say you forget something, you decide, oh, I forgot something, I go out, I take that thing and come back in. Do note that sometimes, while that's possible, sometimes the instance might lock and lock you out of the instance. Hence, we try to avoid leaving the instance after we have zoned in. Now, you want to ensure that you have, number one, your body piece. Okay, the Kirin's Osode or Fending is generally, okay, Kirin Osodes or Vermilion Cloaks is generally what we'll be using for BA. If you have it with you, okay, either from somewhere else, some of your friends got you some or you bought it, you should have it with you. It is generally considered as BIS, okay, best in slot for BA. Bring it with you. It will help you very much for this run. Okay, number two, bring food. Any sort of high eye level food will work. Okay, generally speaking, eye level 420, 500 and above works fine. Okay, the stats are generally capped to a certain number. So if you bring any eye level or level 90 food is generally maximum stats. So you can't get any better than that. So bring food with you. Food helps. bring any potions you wish to use. Okay, and finally bring your logograms or logos actions. Okay, make sure you have sufficient. Once we zone into the instance, there'll be a little bit of time to form logos actions. Okay, but we only have enough time until the fate that allows us to enter into BA spawns. So do spend some time to make your actions and then get ready for the start of BA itself. Okay, so all these shouldn't be new to you. Okay, it's nothing that you haven't already learned while you're progressing through Eureka itself. Okay, Animos, Pagos, Pyros. Okay, and finally in Hydatos as well. Okay, so make sure you have all these things with you before entry, and at this point of time it's 1 minute to entry, so we're gonna do ready checks and zone in after this. Okay, now if you have any questions or things you want to ask, feel free to just ask them in either the say chat, yell chat. We try to avoid using shout chat inside the zone later on because it is a public instance and we don't want to spam the other players in the zone with our random chatter lah. But if you have questions, legit questions, feel free to just ask them. You can also ask in your party or using yell chat or say chat once we're inside BA itself. Okay, when we're inside BA, it's just us. It's okay to use yell chat. Everyone inside BA with us will hear it, but we are comprising the majority inside the BA later on. Okay, now ready checks, ready up. Make sure everyone is here. Now for those parties who are still missing players, okay, unfortunately it is now reached the cutoff time of 2 p.m. plus 8 GMT. So they will either have to try to make it. If they still show up before we actually go into BA, we can still pick them up. But if they don't make it, that's too bad. I generally don't go and chase people to make sure that they show up because again, this is it's their own responsibility to ensure that they turn up. We have provided all the pings and everything. Okay, if they don't show up, I'm not going to chase them for it. We can do fine without them as well. Okay, so ready check and we will just zone into Hydatos.
Just run off to do something really quick.
I noticed.
Yeah, run.
Okay, now for everyone who zone into Hydatos, once you go in, the first thing I usually do is to ensure that we're all in the same instance. Now, generally speaking, for current day FF14, the instance is usually just us. Okay, if we host a run, the only people that show up is usually just us lah. Okay, but back in the heyday of BA, there will be like multiple instances going on, so there may be scenarios where people get into different instances. Okay, thankfully nowadays that doesn't happen. Okay, but just in case you don't get into the same instance as all of us, just let us know ASAP. Okay, just say it on the VC or just let someone know. Okay, Kelly, you're the party lead.
Oh, sorry. You switched it without telling me.
Hello. Am I too late?
I can't.
We just zone in, so quickly come in if you are looking to join. Whoever this is.
Wait, can you speak again? Oh no, they're shy.
Okay, so just to be clear, we haven't actually started yet. So whoever you are, if you have signed up, or even if you haven't signed up, just hop into the Hydatos instance before the BA actually starts. And if you manage to get in, you will be coming with us. Okay, so do understand how BA works is that if you make it in to BA later on, you'll be joining us. Okay, I'll explain how the everything works in a short while. So once again, just verify that we're all in the same instance. Okay, I'm looking at my adventurer list right now. There is about 54 people. Okay, quite a healthy number, which is good. You should be in this instance. Okay, the one with 54 players in it. Now, once you're inside of Hydatos, spend some time to form your logos actions now. OVNI will spawn soon. Okay, OVNI will pop up soon, so we don't have too much time. There's a couple of things to check before we begin. Now, number one, okay, while you're forming your logos actions, make sure you are level 60. Okay, there are 3 things to check before to ensure that you are qualified for BA, and I always do this checklist before we start. Number one, you must be elemental level 60. If you have leveled down because of death or releasing, please quickly level up. Okay, but there's not much time, so if you are not level 60, unfortunately you may not make it in time. Number 2, you should have, okay, OVNI is coming up already, see. So number 2, you should have finished all the quests in Hydatos. Looking at your mini map, okay, keep your mini map open. All the quest icons should have been done. If there's still a quest icon left on your mini map, you will probably need to do that first before you can join us for BA. Okay, number 3, we will need to head over to the OVNI, which is in the southeastern part of the map. Okay, you can see it popping up right now. Okay, the I don't want to believe fate has appeared. This is the OVNI fate, and to participate in BA, everyone needs to join this fate, join this OVNI fate, and get a gold contribution rating for it to be eligible to enter into BA. Now, this is easily done in a full party or any party with 5 or more members, because fate contribution works in a party. If everyone contributes in a party, a small amount of contribution, they'll combine everyone's contribution. You will usually get gold on it. So ensure that you are in a party to join us for the OVNI fate. Okay, if you are in the sign-ups, you have signed up, you should be in your own parties. Generally speaking, you should be able to get a gold contribution rating. If you just hit it a little bit, it's fine. Now, do also note that after we have started the fight against OVNI, when OVNI is at the point where it dies, you need to be inside the fate zone or nearby for it to count. If you go too far away, you will not be able to enter. Okay, this is a countermeasure SE placed early on in the Eureka life cycle to stop people from running off early, because there will be a race after this. So early on, people used to run off really early to try to get a head start and leave the players behind to continue fighting. Because of this, SE said everyone has to stay. If not, you don't get to do BA. So if you leave the fate zone early, you will not be able to join us. Stay within the fate zone until OVNI dies. Okay, now we are going to set a start time of 0700. Kelly, help me shout it out. Thank you. Okay, Kelly will be the organizer for today's session, so she'll be helping me to do admin stuff, do yells and shouts and chats like this, because I'll be mainly focused on doing the raid leading. Okay, I'll be talking a lot. Okay, I'll be talking a lot for this run, so I'll be entertaining all of you guys, answering questions, doing explanations and stuff like this. So I may not be able to answer every single question thrown my way, especially if you are typing it out to me in tells or say yell or Discord chat lah. So I do apologize. Okay, but I'm mainly quite focused on doing the explanations. Okay, now we will be starting OVNI in 0700, so be sure to be here in about 5 minutes. Okay, so I've been giving people 5 minutes to get to the fate area. Do whatever last minute preparation you need to do, and make sure you are here before we, or do in ample time. Okay, once we start the boss OVNI will die relatively quickly.
I'm just putting in a
Okay, so do make sure that you are here by the time we start. Okay, now for those players who are not in any party, or if you are in one of the pre-formed parties and there are empty spots, at this point of time, you can choose to pick up those players. So for example, Team 3, Angeline Wickhart is actually here. If you still have a space, just grab them lah. Okay, just grab them. If not, then later on, once we zone into BA itself, we will be forced to reshuffle the teams anyway. So don't worry too much about it. Now, I will explain the Portal War segment. Now, after OVNI dies, there's a few things that you need to do. Okay, the first is that there will be portal was where there will be 48 portals that show up after Ofni dies. Now these portals are in semi-fixed positions. I'm going to post a picture of the map in our Eureka Lounge chat channel. Okay, Eureka Lounge chat channel, and you can see the map here. This map shows you the spots where the portals will appear. What you should do is pick a spot, one or two spots that are relatively near to each other, and the moment Ofni dies, you make a beeline towards one of those spots and camp that spot. Unofficially, what happens is that if you are there first, that's your spot. If someone comes along and see you there, they move along and find another spot. Having said this, the opposite also works. If you go reach a spot and someone's already there, move along and try to find a different spot. Okay, we have 48 available spots. Try to find a spot and sit on it so that you can secure your own entry later on. Okay, do note that I cannot force people to not go in. So there may be cases where you will be fighting other players for a portal. Looking at the numbers, we generally should have enough. Now, a number of veteran players who are with us in the instance usually hold off on entering until all the new players have gotten in. Okay, so I greatly appreciate all these veteran players. Okay, what they'll do is they'll just hang back, wait for all the new players to get in, and then if there are leftover portals, they'll take those. Okay, so thanks very much. If you cannot find a portal spot later on, you may wish to just say that, no, I need a portal, and a veteran may drop you a tell and tell you that, no, this is a portal here, come over and grab it. Do note they cannot shout it out. If they shout it out, then everyone will head over there. So they will usually drop you a tell telling you there's a spare portal here. Now, to assist with finding portals, you can also leave your mini-map open during this entire process. The mini-map shows you where all the available portals are. They will appear as small little X's on the mini-map. They will show you where all the portals are. Keep the mini-map open and make a beeline to any available portal once they appear. Okay, do note that portals do not appear instantly after Ofni dies. They will take 4 minutes upon Ofni dying for them to appear. Now, the moment Ofni dies, everyone who qualifies for BA will get a buff. Okay, a 10-minute buff, which takes down to 9 minutes instantly. At the 6-minute mark, which means 4 minutes after Ofni is dead, blue portals will appear. Now, you do not touch the blue portals. You do not touch the blue portals. Blue portals are priority entry only. You will not be able to use them unless you have a special item known as an etheric stabilizer. Okay, someone accidentally pulled. It's still 1 minute too early, okay, but we'll just hang back a little bit. Okay, so blue portals are not meant to be used. They are meant for priority entry. To actually enter, you need a special item, which is not free. Now, 3 minutes after blue portals have appeared, red portals will appear. The moment red portals appear, quickly grab one, okay, by clicking on it or just touching it. You will then enter into BA. Okay, red portals are free entry, everyone can use them, but you must be quick to quickly grab one. Okay, now we'll be starting the fight in 20 seconds, so do ensure that all your party members are here and ready. Okay, fighting Ofni is basically just hitting it a little bit. It's fine. You don't have to go ham on the DPS. Okay, but just try not to get yourself killed. Okay, dying is fine. Okay, to be honest, if you die, it's okay. Just get rest and continue as per normal. Okay, so we are gonna engage Ofni. Just take it easy. Don't need to go ham on it, but do ensure that you at least hit it a couple of times. Tag it a few times. Try not to die, and we should be fine. Full attack. Thank you. Okay, I do apologize for going on lengthy exposition sermons. Okay, a lot of people who have come for my runs before will understand that I actually tend to talk a lot. So I do apologize.
You're actually doing a good job because I can understand everything.
Thank you very much.
Right?
But I'll try my best to keep it short and sweet. Okay, but there's a lot of things to explain. There's a lot of information to get across, and it's difficult to do this in a very concise manner. Okay, now, okay, you might want to move away from the Ion Shower player. They will fire off a large AoE. Okay, Ovni is gonna be killed in a short while. The moment Ovni dies, you will ideally mount up and run off to find any available portal spot. Okay, do note they won't appear instantly, so you just be in the general vicinity. Be wary of mobs, especially if you're going to the far edges of the east and the west. The mobs will actually aggro you there. Try not to get killed. Okay, and Ovni is being killed right now. Okay, mount up, run off. Okay, good luck. Find a portal spot, and just try to secure it for yourself. Okay, do note that if you see me, I usually take the portal directly to the left of Ovni, which is the nearest one. So if you see me, kindly just move along. I will be taking this one.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I mean to be fair, I'm the raid leader. It's a bit difficult for me to run the raid if I don't actually get in. So but Kelly usually helps me by holding a portal nearby. So if let's say I lose my portal, then Kelly will give up hers. And
Because I'm not necessary.
no, actually technically you are necessary because you are now the organizer. You should, if you don't want to be necessary, you shouldn't be the organizer. Then someone else can be the organizer, and you can give up your spot to me. Thanks.
Yeah. It's okay, I can go and I can play Genshin.
So sus, where's the dedication? Okay, now, good luck. Go around, find a portal spot. Try to find an empty one and just camp on it. If there's someone already there, just etiquette dictates that you move along lah. Okay, etiquette dictates that you shouldn't fight them for it. Now, thankfully, today's session we only have about 60 plus people, so it's not too crowded. Do note that in content spikes, or should I say, when Eureka is hot, we might see instances where there are 100 plus people, in which case then the etiquette no longer stands. Okay, if there's too many, more than 100 players, or 80 plus players trying to do BA, right, it's an all-out fight for the portals. Okay, hence it's called portal wars, because you are fighting each other to try to get into BA. Okay, and I do understand if people will snatch portals away from others because they cannot afford to wait for the next BA, so sometimes they are forced to just take whatever available portal. Now, do note when blue portals appear, do not click on them. Do not click on blue portals. Now, usually for blue portals, the priority entry method, the stabilizer is meant to be kept for runs where there's a lot of competition, or where you are really desperate to enter BA, you use a blue portal. However, for my practice runs, I discourage people using stabilizers or stabs, because if you stab a blue portal, someone else gets shafted. Okay, not just the person who you stabbed, you took their portal from, but someone else later on the map will lose their red entry portal. Now, after the blue portals appear, 3 minutes later, all the remaining blue portals that are left will disappear, and red portals will reappear and reshuffle their position. So if 5 blue portals were stabbed, okay, blue portals are up, okay, just look out for the blue portals, just hover near the blue portals, you don't have to click on them yet, okay, do not touch them yet. Now, later on, when the red portals appear, if 5 blue portals were stabbed, as an example, there will be 48 minus 5, so 43 red portals will appear if people stab. Okay, so because of this, and it will be randomly selected. So 5 random players on the map will lose their chance to get into BA. Hence, for the practice runs, we don't stab at all, because if you stab, you're gonna affect someone else in this zone, and we are bringing the majority of players, so you're gonna affect someone else in the run. So the best way to deal with it is just not to stab at all. Okay, so just leave the portals there. When they turn red later on, then you quickly make a beeline towards it and click on it. Okay, you can hover near the portal, but do note that when red portals appear, they will not be in the exact same spot. They will be in the vicinity of the blue portal. So zoom out your camera, get a wide eye view of the area around you, and look out for the red portal that will appear nearby. Okay, now Vasilisa says that to inform you guys not to click off your buff, but I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can click off the Ethereally Prime buff.
I don't want to test that.
I mean, I won't test it now, lah, but I'll maybe test it like next time. But yeah, okay, like just avoid clicking off random things from your buff bar. Yeah, I don't think you can click it off. So if they don't have the okay now, if you don't have the Ethereally Prime buff, it means that you messed up somehow. Number one, you're not level 60. Number two, you didn't actually finish all the quests in this zone. Or number three, you left the Fate zone early previously. Okay, so if you don't have the buff, it means you fail in one of these three criteria. There's only these three possibilities that you will not be able to enter BA. Okay, but if that does happen to you, so sorry, but you will not be able to join us right away. Do note that later, midway through BA, there's another opportunity to join us inside BA, known as the Support Fate. 8 new random players outside in the zone will be able to join us midway through BA. I will explain that later on for the random players, but we generally don't assign those 8 players. It is just whoever's out here want to join can just join us. Okay, now do get ready. The red portals are about to appear. Okay, thankfully no one has actually stepped, so all 48 of us who are sitting on a portal will be able to get a portal. Okay, if there's anyone who has no portal, please let us know. Okay, you can shout it out. You need a portal, and a veteran will usually drop you a tell and let you know where to get one. Okay, try your best. Good luck. Click onto the red portals, and I'll see you on the inside of BA. Okay, if for those who didn't get a portal, leave your minimap open, quickly run around, make a beeline to the nearest red portal. Okay, just try your best to go to the nearest red portal, click on it to get in. Okay, good luck. Okay, now for those who have successfully entered, congrats, you have cleared the first hurdle in BA, okay, towards clearing BA. Half the battle is getting into BA itself. So congrats on getting in. I think my whole party got in. Nice. Now, once we are inside BA, there's quite a number of things to cover as well. Okay, again, I'm going to be talking a lot here, so do bear with me. Now, the moment you zone in, there's a cutscene. Watch the cutscene. At the front, there's a logos manipulator and a mega melder. Spend some time to create your logograms or logos actions that you will need for this run. The moment we leave from this starting point, we will not be able to return here. So just make sure that you have whatever you need for this entire run. Also, everyone should be cracking open a single Spirit of the Remembered at the start and popping it, because it will keep you alive in this run. Now in BA, you cannot be rezzed normally, so if you die in here, you cannot get rezzed. You will need to rely on your Spirit of the Remembered buff to keep you alive. Now what Spirit of the Remembered does is that every time you die, there's a 70% chance to get up. So you should have one on you at all times, okay, to keep yourself alive. Next, at the start here, do not fall off this initial starting platform. There are two. You'll notice that this platform is raised. Okay, I should have started with that first. Okay, but do not fall off the initial starting platform until we are ready to begin. Because once you drop off on either the left or the right side of this initial platform, you cannot get back up here. And for the first pair of bosses, we will actually need to split our alliance into 2 roughly evenly powered groups. Okay, so we need to sort of split them into east and west sides, or Art and Owain side as I prefer to call them. Okay, now for today's session, if you look at the spreadsheet, we are actually assigned certain sides. So for example, team 1 is Owain, team 2, my team is Art, and I'll be main tanking. Team 3 is Owain, team 4 is Art. Okay, but just for clarity's sake, when we zone in here, you will notice that party leaders will usually yell out something like what Kelly has just done. 2, 2, 4, Art, MT. This means that this party, Kelly's party, is 2 tanks, 2 healers, 4 DPS. We are going to the Art side. Now the Art side is the logos manipulator side. The Owain side is the mega melder side. Okay, so 2, 2, 4 Owain and Art, and MT means main tank. So my party is going on to the art side, we are the main tank for the art side. Okay, and this is what it means. So do help to shout it or yell it out. Okay, not shout, sorry, yell it out. Kelly will be helping me to do the organization. Okay, sorting out who's going to art, who's going to Owen. Now also note that we will actually be requiring 2 players with perception, one on art, one on Owen. Okay, and nowadays I generally don't assign these to the spreadsheet anymore. Okay, but whoever is bringing them can just let us know, and then Kelly will help me to ensure that there's one on each side. Okay, thanks very much, Aja, for art side perception. Okay, we need one. I think Kelly will help me
Yeah.
on the Owen side as well.
We-
Thanks,
we-
Kelly.
3 in the morning, he has Owen's perception, so
Nice.
that's done too.
Thank you. Okay, now you will also notice that there might be a waymark on either the east or west side. Now this waymark will tell your party which side you are dropping off on. So if you see a waymark, that means this is your side. Do not fall off the wrong side. Once again, if you fall off the wrong side, you cannot get back up here and cross over. So you'll be stuck without your party healers if you're not healer. So please be sure do not fall off until everyone is ready. Okay, sometimes we need to reshuffle parties lah. In public runs we may need to reshuffle the party. So do not just jump off early and then assume that it's all good. Okay, do note that the way we are handling these practice runs is very similar to actual pug runs. Okay, the way I host these practice runs are similar to how pug runs are done, so that if you actually wish to join future BA runs, you will realize that all the pug players in Elemental can actually, I believe, JP servers do this in a similar manner. Okay, everything is done through Yell chat and on-the-fly organization. So this is how we usually do things here on Elemental. Okay, so you'll be able to join pug runs after today's session. Okay, whether we clear or not, that's to be seen. Okay, but just understand that this is how we usually host BA runs here. Okay, now last thing to mention here before we get started. Okay, for everyone who is set up, okay, start to do your ready checks. But below the Hydatos timer, okay, you have a zone timer, is whatever timer you have. Below it, there's a Conquer the Baldigian Arsenal timer. It's currently sitting at 18 minutes and 15 seconds and counting down. This time limit is the time limit we have inside BA itself. So we will try to expedite things. If we run out of time, we will get kicked out. Okay, so I need to ensure that we proceed at a smooth pace. Okay, not talk so long, don't make you all fall asleep, and we will try to expedite things and go through the run at a smooth pace lah. At certain checkpoints, when we clear certain boss fights, the timer will extend. So it's not that we have 20 minutes for the entire run, it's that you will extend as we progress through the fight itself. Okay, now ensure that you have enough Spirit of the Remembered to go through the entire run. For fresh DPS members, make sure you have a defensive essence. If you are using one at the start, crack it open and use it. Make sure you have an offensive action for the later half of BA, because we won't be able to come back here. Okay, but all this should have been dealt with prior to coming for today's session. Okay, all this is all the pre-preparation that you should have done prior to today's run. Okay, I'm not going to spend too much time explaining all of this in the run itself. We'll just go ahead and progress as much as we can. Okay, I cannot guarantee clears for today's session because of certain restrictions. Okay, I'll explain them as we go along later on. Okay, but for now, once your party is ready, we are all sorted out. Very good, thanks Kelly. The main tanks on each side will be able to start pulling the mob. So on the art side, those guys with me, you will have seen that I've started fighting. Okay, just be very careful. In BA, if you are not a tank, not geared, not on defensive Megia, and you pull enmity off a mob, and the mob decides to touch you, you'll probably die. So please don't rip enmity off the tank, and be very careful with hitting things accidentally. Okay, let the tanks establish enmity first. Now, any tanks who are not main tanking, okay, we have a couple of veteran tanks. Y'all know what to do lah. Okay, but generally speaking, for tanks, if you are not main tanking, you are just a blue DPS here. Try to keep an eye out for any loose mobs that are pulled by accident from either healers or DPS. Okay, usually DPS accidentally pull the mobs, then the healer heals them, and then the healer takes the enmity, which kills the healer, which is bad. So try to keep an eye out for other players lah. Okay, basically you are on babysit duty. You look out for any randomly aggro mobs and just tank it for the party until we can focus and kill it. Okay, if that happens, just rotate to defensive, pop some mitigations, and you generally as a tank should be fine. Okay, but if you're not safe, not certain on what to do, don't risk it. Let the veterans handle it. Now, for today's session or today's run, we have actually quite a number of familiar faces. Okay, the usual, the usual suspects, who are always here for my practice run. So thank you very much, guys. Okay, they're always here to make these runs sort of happen. Okay, they're here to help support us, cover certain roles and responsibilities. Okay, as well as to bring some added necessary DPS, okay, to help us to push the run to its completion. So thank you very much for doing this. Okay, much appreciated. Now, at the top of the stairs, there are two Arsenal B-Blosses. Be very careful for these two. Do not be in front or behind them. Once again, do not be in front or behind them. They will do a very, very nasty frontal cleave attack that will target the main tank. Be away from them. Okay, yes, guys, be careful about that cleave. Okay, I saw two casualties already, so just be very careful. Don't stand with the at the front of them. Don't stand with the main tank as well. Okay, do note that what usually happens is that the main a tank or a melee DPS will stun them, but they will turn towards the main tank and cleave the main tank straight after the stun. So it's a bit misleading. I say don't be in front, but they're actually facing sideways. They will then turn towards the main tank and cleave the main tank. So be very careful about it. Okay, but if you do die, your spirit will hopefully have procced and saved you. Just pop another spirit as necessary. Just pop another spirit if necessary. So keep your spirit up at all times. Okay, the spirit of the remember is a requirement for this raid, because if you die and you don't have spirit up, then you will just be dead lah. Okay, we can't res you. Now there's a few ways to raise players, but I'll cover this after we've cleared the first set of bosses. Okay, we can't do anything about it until after the first set of bosses. Okay, now Art has arrived. We'll be waiting for Owain to arrive. Hey, Nathan.
Yep.
Nathan shouting
yeah.
ET time. Okay, now anyway, I'll do really quick explanations on what to expect. We'll start at ET 1750. So limit break 1 is at 1749. Limit break 2 is at 1748. Okay. Use the range or caster limit breaks at the designated time. If not, the limit break will just drain away. Now for these fights, there'll be very, very basic callouts. Now for Owain's side, all you need to do is, if Owain is fire, you go to an ice spear. If Owain is ice, you go to a fire spear. Later on, there'll be Dorito markers. If you have a triangle stack marker, okay, a triangle marker above your head, you stack with other players with the same triangle marker, except those with the AoE puddles. Move those away. And that's all the mechanics for Owain. Okay, once again, Owain, if it's fire, you go to ice. If it's ice, you go to fire. Basically can follow everyone else. Now for Art's side, it's a bit more difficult. If he does a donut AoE, you need to go in and then run out to any spear. If he does a point blank AoE, you need to run out and then run in to avoid the point blank coming out from the spears. When the floor flashes, I'll say stop moving, just stop moving, and then avoid the line AoEs afterwards. Okay, now LB2, if you have it, LB1, and we will just go ahead and get started. Okay, now these two bosses are a bit unique in the sense that they need to be killed at approximately the same time. Now if one boss dies early or has no health, he just doesn't get killed until the other boss is also reduced to no health. Hence the need to balance the offensive powers for both sides. Okay, now they usually open up with tank busters and a red white, so just heal and shield through appropriately. Okay, I'll try to refrain from doing unnecessary callouts because there'll be two sides for this fight. Okay, spears are up. Look out for the spears. Outside, we'll be moving out and then in. Okay, move in. The next set will be in and then out. move to any spear. Quickly. Nice. Outside, stop moving. Outside, stop moving. And then avoid the line AoEs now. Okay, get out of those.
Nope.
A couple of deaths. Okay, now, moving on ahead, be careful. There will be a trap up ahead. There will be explosive, invisible traps. Do not run ahead of the Perceptors. Now, with regards to dead players, in BA, the only way to raise dead players is to have Spirit of the Remembered. If that fails, Healer LB3 during boss fights also work, but that is unreliable. Now, the most common way to raise a dead player whose spirit has failed is for a healer to use Sacrifice L on the dead player. Now, for healers to do this, what they do is they will sacrifice themselves, they will die, and the dead player will get back up. The healer will then rely on their own Spirit of the Remembered to raise themselves. If that fails, another healer will need to sacrifice the dead player, and they will chain daisy chain sacrifices. Now, as a rule of thumb, unspoken etiquette, for those on the outside, you all notice, Kelly has yelled out that they are going to sacrifice this player. We try to shout out or yell out that you are using sacrifice to let other healers know that you will be sacrificing that player, so that multiple healers do not use the same sacrifice the same player. Okay, now unfortunately Kelly's using Kelly brand sacrifice lah. So Kelly brand spirit. Yeah, she using Kelly brand spirit, so she always it doesn't work, it never works.
Like 95% of the time it never works on me. It's so bad. So fuck.
Okay, perception players, the perceptors, can you all please help me to go and scan the trap up ahead? We'll try to go ahead to join the other side first lah. Give the healers, you all can help to get Kelly up. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Aldis.
Thanks, Aldis.
Okay, there's a trap here. Trap. Okay, just watch out. Where I'm standing, at where I'm standing, there's actually a trap beyond this line. So do not run beyond this line. Thanks, Aja. Aja, you want to be very careful with the perception. Scan. Step forward. Okay, nice. You found it.
It's not just me. It's not just me.
Aldis, don't buy Kelly brand sacrifice Spirit of the Remembered. Yeah, don't buy Kelly brand. Okay, now in this hallway here, at the top, in this hallway, there's 4 traps in a square pattern. Now at the edge of the wall in this hall, there's a treasure coffer. Now all treasure coffers in BA are personal, so remember to pick up your own treasure coffer. The loot is your own loot. If you don't pick it up, you don't get it. So remember to help grab it yourself. Now Velista, is Velista a tank?
Oh, I think Nathan's gonna meet.
Oh yeah, okay, that's true. Okay, so Nathan's gonna be main tanking, but don't worry, Nathan. Some of us, some of the extra tanks will actually help to support tank for you lah. Okay, so usually what happens is one main tank will start to pull mobs. If too many is pulled, or if not some random mob gets aggroed onto one of the random players, we will step in to help cover. Okay, now watch out for the door. The door is coming down the... okay, nice. Okay, now for this door mob, the main tank needs to face it away from everyone. In other words, everyone should be standing behind the door. It will do a very nasty gaze attack that cannot be looked away. Okay, you can't actually look away from it. It will still hit you regardless. So you want to be behind it. Okay, it's going off already. Bam. Okay, nice. Okay, now other than that, in this hallway, not much to say about it. There's a couple of mobs that will patrol in the hall. Okay, there's a ghost, there's a sprite, there's the doll. There is also 2 centaurs in this hallway, which are a bit unique in the sense that the centaurs, once pulled, they will do this move called berserk. Okay, they will do a berserk cast. If the berserk cast goes off, the tank cannot survive their auto attacks anymore. They need to use tank inbound. Okay, they hit really, really hard. Now the thing is that we need to interrupt the berserk cast, but they cannot be stunned or silenced. We must use sleep or repose to interrupt it. Hence, a healer or caster will usually cast a swift cast sleep to interrupt it. Okay, but don't pre-cast the sleep, because if you use it 3 times before the berserk is started, then it becomes immune to sleep as well, and the tank needs to use tank inbounds to survive. Okay, thankfully we have a number of veteran healers in today's run, So they have already interrupted the berserk. Thanks very much. Okay, Nathan, I think will be learning or trying to main tank for today's session. So good luck, Nathan. I will. Okay, but do hold back a bit on calling the ET too early, because I only need a bit of explanation time. Just now you straight away called the ET. I had to cram all my explanations in, but it helps me to go faster also lah. So I sort of appreciate it. Thanks very much. Okay, I'm gonna save time. I'm gonna start explaining Raiden's mechanic. Now, Raiden is the second boss in this fight, and he's thunder aspected. So rotate your Mega to the correct element while I deliver explanations. Now, for today's session, Nathan will be the main tank. So only Nathan should have their stance on. Everyone else stance off. Now, Raiden has two mechanics that you need to look out for. The first is called the lateral Zantetsuken. What Raiden does is that he will disappear from the arena, and we will all stack in the middle of the arena. He will appear on either the east or the west side, and he will raise his sword to either his left or his right. Puddles will appear below randomly selected players, but because we're all stacked in the middle, a large number of puddles will appear below all of us in the middle. Move out of the puddles and move towards the side Raiden's sword is not pointing at. Okay, once more from the beginning. Raiden disappears. We stack in the middle. We look to either the east or the west where Raiden is at. Raiden raises his sword on either his left or his right. Puddles appear below everyone. Move out of the puddles towards the side Raiden's sword is not pointing on. Now, if you are not sure which side this is, just look for everyone else. We are all going towards the same side because Raiden will shortly cleave across the arena, killing everyone in the middle as well as everyone on the unsafe side. Okay, everyone on the side his sword is pointing at is insta-killed. Okay, everyone, his sword just kills everyone who it hits lah. Okay, unless you avoid getting hit by it. Okay, so look for everyone and run over to that side. Now, if for whatever reason you see a party member running off to Narnia, okay, running off to the wrong side and you're a healer, quickly rescue them over to the correct side. They're gonna get killed if they don't get to the correct side. Okay, now the second mechanic is called cloud to ground. Cloud to ground happens much later in the fight. If we have good DPS, we might skip it, but in case we do see it, I will explain it. Now, cloud to ground. A single Exer Flare marker will appear along the edge of the arena. Now, an Exer Flare marker is an AoE with an arrow in it. It's one of those traveling AoEs that slowly travel across the arena. We will look for the first one. Once it starts traveling, we are going to stack on where it spawned because that spot will be safe. Shortly after this, Raiden will do bitter barbs. A number of things will happen. First, AoE puddles will appear below random players again, but we're all stacked together, so a large number of AoE puddles will appear. Second, there will still be traveling AoE markers across the arena. And third, the bitter barbs will tether some players to each other. If you see that you have a barbed tether, split the tether from the other player by pulling it apart. Okay, run away from the other player to split the tether. The barbed tether will kill both of you after a short amount of time. So you want to prioritize splitting that first. Okay, pop sprint, run around, avoid AoEs, avoid the Exer Flares, split the tether. At the end of all of those, come towards where Raiden is. He follows it up with Whirling Zantetsuken. Now, Whirling Zantetsuken is a donut-shaped AoE. The only safe spot is inside his hitbox. Be inside his hitbox. I will call it out. Do note that he does this move a number of times throughout the fight. So every time I say be inside his hitbox, you must be standing inside his hitbox. If you are not, then again it is a sword attack. It insta kills you. Okay, so these are the two mechanics for Raiden. Any questions? Okay, now at this point of time, I won't be doing ready checks just to save time. So we are just going to get ready to start. If you have questions, feel free to yell it out. If someone's not ready, please let us know. Otherwise, we will begin at ET. Okay, ET 2200 lah. Okay, ET 2200 if you would be so kind. Okay, thanks very much, Nathan. Okay, subsequently for future runs, I think you can do your own call out, your own pull times lah. But for today, because explanation takes a bit of time, okay, I appreciate giving me the time to do the explanations. Thanks. But I'll try to keep it short. Okay, I'll try to keep it short. Okay, I always say this, but it always tends to drag out for a very long time. Okay, now food check. Use food if you haven't done so already. Magia board rotation check. Make sure you have rotated to the correct element. Spirit of the Remembered check. If you've used it already or you don't have one applied, try to apply one so you can keep yourself alive. Okay, limit break will be at ET2159 for LB1, 2158 for LB2. Okay, range or caster limit break only. Okay, just fire it off, because if you don't use it, then when the fight starts, the LB meter just disappears, just drains away. So anyone can just fire it. If you see no one's using it, just use it, because it will be wasted if you don't. Okay, get ready to start. LB2, if you have it. LB1, fire it off. Okay, and Nathan, establish enmity. Now Nathan will begin by pulling the boss closer to the edge of the arena for the first mechanic. There will be a raid wide, followed up by a tank buster. Spicy. Tank buster. Now ranged and casters can go backwards away from Raiden to maximum range. Raiden will electrify the edge of the arena. Shortly after this, he will do Ame no Sakahoko. Everyone needs to be away from Raiden. Okay, this is Ame no Sakahoko. Everyone out, everyone away. Now, he will jump backwards. You want to be inside his hitbox after he lands. Be inside his hitbox. Be inside his hitbox. This is Whirling Zantetsuken. Raiden's going to disappear, and this is the lateral Zantetsuken. We will stack in the middle. Raiden is on the west. Move out of the puddles and run towards the safe side. Okay, look for everyone. There is time to adjust. Nice. Those people standing very near to the where the Raiden cleaves, right? Those are veterans. Don't do what they do. Don't learn from them. Okay, now spread out lightly. Spread out lightly. Okay, this is Lancing Bolt. It's a light DPS check. Try to not be in the overlapping regions. Okay, spread them out. Don't be in any overlapping regions. You can take one hit. You cannot generally survive two, okay, unless you are tank or geared. Now it's a light DPS check. Burn the spears. Okay, burn the spears. Okay, if this goes off, we all die. But it's a very, very low DPS check. Okay, there'll be a bruise mechanic after this. Just move out of the bruise. Okay, red, white, and then AoE. Okay, move out of this. And after this, we'll see cloud to ground. Okay, this is cloud to ground. Looks like we're gonna have to do it. So we'll look for the first cloud to ground. It is towards the north. Okay, notice we are all moving towards it. Stack at where it has spawned. Okay, just come and stack together. Get ready to pop sprint and avoid everything. Good luck. Try to stay alive. Sprint,
Don't
avoid
run
everything.
super.
Okay. Split the tether, split the tether. Okay, and come back towards Raiden after this. Okay, come back towards Raiden. Come back into his hitbox. Be inside his hitbox. This is Whirling Zantetsuken.
Oh no, that dancer.
Hey, someone stuck a toe out of his hitbox. Okay, nice, committed. Okay, no worries, no worries. Okay, healers, do your thing. Use their sacrifice. Okay, now do note that healer sacrifices are actually kind of expensive. I think they cost somewhere in the price range of 100 to 150,000. So do appreciate the healers. Okay, it's nice to see that for the practice runs, we have a lot of generous healers who are just like freely using sacrifices. So it is very, very much appreciated. But do understand that for actual park runs, you may not get a sacrifice if there's a lack of healers or there's just not enough sacrifices to go around. So do appreciate your healers. Remember to say thank you. Okay, now up the stairs, there's a big hall with mobs in it. There's a trap somewhere in this hall, so we try not to run too far into the hall. The tank will usually peel some of the mobs away from the entrance to give the perceptors some space to scan for the trap itself. Okay, look out for the line AoEs that the fans will fire off. Those are a bit hard to see if you're standing on the stair. Okay, otherwise should be no problem. Someone's pulled a book. It's okay, I got it. Just watch your enmity. If you don't intend to tank as to take hits, don't have your stance on. The trap is still okay. Thanks, we have found it. Now, if mobs suddenly die by themselves, what I call heart attack, getting a heart attack, it just means that someone has used skill like this. It just means someone's using Sharp Brand Def L. It is obviously Sharp Brand.
No. No.
B7 brand is not used here, please. B7 brand is not used.
I am sure there's still stock available. Like she now sells it in the OCE.
Yeah, she's selling it in material. So unfortunately, I've lost market share there, lah. So sad. But here on Elemental, Sharp Brand is still going strong. Okay, now there's a treasure coffer up here with a trap in front of it. Be very okay. Someone okay, never mind. Someone has popped it. Nathan has popped it. Thanks, Nathan. Yeah, usually there's a trap in front of this treasure coffer, but Nathan has disarmed it for us. Sharp Brand Def L, guaranteed to work 100% of the time, 10% of the time. How much is B7 paying you? How much B7 paying? I'll double it. I'll double it.
Carries an ultimate, maybe.
Hey,
She's really good at ultimate, so I presume.
I can't compete in that market. Unfair. I don't do ultimates, by the way, guys. Okay, now in here there's a series of rooms. So just follow the crowd. What we're doing is we're clearing out the hallway first. Okay, watch out for the sprite. Someone has accidentally pulled it, so just be careful. Yeah, it's okay lah. Nathan, if there's mobs with 2 different elements, right? Just let some other tank it, because it gets very spicy if you're tanking 2 different elements. Unless you know that you can handle it, in which case, by all means, go ahead. Okay, now, in this hallway, there are some trash mobs in the hallway. We'll clear out the trash mobs first. There will be 6 rooms along the edges. And what's going to happen is that we're looking for 2 things. Number 1, there is a visible treasure coffer in one of the 6 rooms. Okay, so what we are doing is we're actually looking into the rooms as we walk past them. And when we see the treasure coffer, one of us will usually yell it out, treasure coffer, earth room, or fire room, ice room, whatever room. Okay, they are actually elementally aspected. So that's what we're doing first. Number 2, there's an invisible teleporter that we cannot see. Now this teleporter, to reveal it, we'll need a perceptor to scan for the teleporter. But because the rooms have mobs in them, we'll need to dispatch the mobs as well. Okay, so what we normally do is we prioritize the room with the treasure coffer first because we want the loot. So we will try to grab that first. It is in ice room. Thank you, Zen. So Zen has pointed out that it is in ice room. So hence we are clearing out the ice room first. Do note that these rooms have traps in them as well. So don't blindly run into the rooms. Let the perceptors go in first. Alternatively, the tank will usually pull the mobs out of the rooms so that we can safely dispatch them in the hallway here. Okay, there's really no reason to run into the rooms unless there's the treasure or the teleporter, and always wait for the room to be scanned first. Okay, so here ice room, water room has 2 traps each. We'll be dispatching the water room next, and then thunder and wind, which are the middle rooms, have 1 trap each, with the fire and earth rooms having no traps. Okay, but it's fine. Generally, the perceptor will just scan the entire room until their perception tells them that there are no more traps to be found. Do also note that there's actually a sort of priority order to... Okay, watch out for these. There's a priority order to the rooms. We usually do ice... Okay, the treasure room first, and then ice, water, thunder, wind, and finally fire, and earth in this order. Okay, treasure room first because we want the loot, and then ice, water, middle rooms, wind, thunder, and then fire and earth. Okay, the reason for this is because we actually want to reveal the traps for certain uses. Okay, tanks will actually use traps for certain skills. Okay, I won't explain this. It's actually for the indomitable skill. It's a very convoluted process that doesn't need explaining during the practice runs. But if you're interested to find out more, or you wish to tank or run indom in the future, do ask in our Discord after the run is over. Okay, so we are currently looking for the wind and thunder rooms. Okay, hopefully we will find the teleporter in one of these rooms. If not, then we'll get the full 6-room experience. Okay, get more bang for your buck. Oh, Basilisa's a red mage. Okay, I thought he was a tank. Oh, watch out. Okay, actually, these mobs, their AOEs don't really hurt lah, but don't risk it lah. Don't stand in AOEs if you can afford to. But
It just puts you to sleep.
yeah, these owl mobs, they will use the sleep AOE, so technically it doesn't kill you, but you fall asleep, just like what I do.
We're listening to you.
Exactly. I use the skill check as well, so everyone falls asleep. Right, teleporter has been found, so just be careful about the trap, walk into it. Go through the zone transition. There'll be a treasure coffer on the right, so grab your free treasure coffer on the right. Okay, there are no traps here, so just quickly go over and grab it where everyone is. And we'll head down the stairs into another hallway with more mobs, one more bleed trap in this hall. Okay, and another set of 6 rooms, which I'll explain as we start to dispatch the mobs. Okay, now, the traps are just for your information. The large, shiny, glowy ones are explosive traps. If you step into those, kaboom, you die. Everyone around you also dies. So usually we try to stay away from the traps. The traps will have a collateral damage area of effect, so you don't want to be standing near them, because I've seen accidents where people auto run into traps by mistake. So just give it a wide berth, play safe. Okay, now here in these rooms there are smaller circular, okay, like these ones here. These ones are bleed traps. Now these don't instantly kill you, but they put a 1-minute heavy bleed debuff which needs to be healed through, cannot be as unat, and a 10-minute long vulnerability up debuff. It's just nasty lah. We just don't want it. Try not to step in it, but if that does happen, just get a healer to heal you until the 1 minute's up, and you will survive it. Okay, now shortly after this, there will be 6 more rooms. Do note that they look very similar to the original set of 6 rooms, but they are actually a different set. There are actually 2 sets of 6 rooms, and subsequently we'll find our way back to the original set of 6 rooms. Okay, now the first time I did BA, right, I was really confused at how many 6-room sets there were. There are actually only 2. Okay, we did 1 set, teleported to the second set, and this is the second set. Now in this second set of 6 rooms, what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna clear out the hallway first as usual. Okay, there'll be 2 ghost mobs in this hallway, and there will be 6 empty rooms with a circular button in the center of each room. Now each of these circular buttons has a trap around it. Do not run in without the being able to see the trap first. Let the perceptor scan for the traps in the rooms first. Okay, do not run in. Subsequently, once we have reviewed all the traps and cleared the mobs in the hallway, we will divide our main alliance into 6 different groups. Now each room needs to have at least 1 person to tank, and ideally a healer to keep that tank alive. When all 6 rooms have at least 1 person standing in the button in the center of each room, the doors will close, 2 mobs will spawn in the room, and the players within each room will have to dispatch the mobs, hence the need for a tank and the need for a healer. Okay, sometimes we can do it without a healer, depending on what actions we bring, but generally we need someone to tank and someone to heal. Can be the same player as well. Okay, so what you'll see happening is players like Kelly, Siora, Stone 224, that means the stone room or the earth room, my party will be, where's the trap here? Don't run in. Careful. Okay. 2 to
No,
4.
I'm just in the corner.
2 tanks, 2 healers, 4 DPS. We are taking the stone room. So Tamamo's room 3, 2, 2 fire, 3 tanks, 2. Whoa, that's really close. 3 tanks, 2 healers, 2 DPS. They are in the fire room. Okay, so Bambietta 1, 2, 5 win, 1 tank, 2 healer, 5 DPS win. So do yell out or shout out your party compositions. Okay, at this point of time, we are splitting up to 6 different groups. We need to assign or ensure that every room has gotten at least a party or people assigned to each room. Okay, because we are bringing such a large number, we should have enough for 6 different parties. Okay, sometimes in smaller man runs, okay, where there are fewer players, we might sort of split parties into two, two 4 group, might split them to 1, 1, 2 each. So each tank and healer takes 1 room each, okay, and so on and so forth. Okay, but we are basically splitting these up. Okay, and Kelly will help me to ensure that all the rooms are accounted for. Okay, once you have been assigned a room, just go into the room, stay in the corner of the room, unless you're the tank. If you are going to be tanking the room, rotate your Magia to the element of the room you are in. So if you are in the fire room, you are the tank, you should rotate to fire defensive. Okay, and all the DPS will rotate to wind, which is offensive to fire. Okay, stay in the corner because when the mobs spawn, they'll spawn randomly, semi randomly. You don't want to be face pulling any of them instantly. The tank usually tries to pull one at a time, but if accidents happen and someone pulls the other mob by mistake, the tank can still grab both of them, pop some mitigations, healer just stay on top of the tank, keep them alive, okay, and avoid any AoEs and things like that. Okay, now at the same time, outside in the Hydatos instance, the support fate will spawn when we trigger the room's closing. Once all 6 rooms are accounted for, we set a start time. The tank will stand in the button in the center of each room. The players outside in Hydatos will be required to take down the Tristitia Fate, which is an additional fate which gives 30 crystals, Hydatos crystals, and the players out there will help us to dispatch it. If they fail it or don't dispatch it, we cannot proceed further. Hence, the players out there are actually also helping us with BA. Once they have cleared it, there will be a similar process to the initial entry of BA, but instead of 48 portals, there will be only 8 portals for the outside. They will have to scramble, it's a free-for-all, do their best to try to get in. Okay, for my practice runs, I don't assign players to support portals because it's just very difficult to do so. There's just 8 portals, and I think there's like 20 odd people out there. So good luck, guys, who are those people out there who are trying to get in. Okay, and thank you very much. Now do note that the players out there will need to use Dispel for the support fate, so we usually also try to ensure that someone's got it. Okay, because if they don't bring it, then they are just going to wipe outside. Okay, and once that's all accounted for, you'll notice some of the parties are doing ready checks. If your party is ready, just shout it out. Okay, now here at this point of time, we usually use shout because the players in the fire and earth room cannot hear the players in the ice and water room and vice versa. So if you're in the water room or ice room and you're not using shout, kindly just shout it out because Kelly cannot hear you. We are too far away. Thanks. Thank you.
Okay, we're good.
Alright, so we're all ready to begin. We are going to start at ET 0425 lah. Okay, 0425 for support desk. Okay, we call it support desk but it's actually just the support field lah. Okay, the closest auto translate is support desk. Okay, so tanks, make sure you have your tank stances on. If you are using any defensive essences, you can defensive wisdoms, you can turn them on. Rotate your mega to the correct defensive element, and just pop some mitigations when you start pulling the mobs. Okay, if you see someone else pull a mob, just help to grab it off them because the DPS and healers are squishier. Just try to stay alive. Okay, we're starting soon. Okay, so step in the button. Okay, step in the button, not the trap. Step in the button, don't kill yourself stepping in the trap. I can see the... Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I put something already. Kelly sus. What are you doing up there?
I'm coming. Oh my god.
She not doing anything. She just like slacking in the corner there on top of the. Okay, by the way, if you guys clear the rooms and you exit the door and you run to the main the big door at the front and you're there first, you need to shout first.
Yep.
Yeah.
We never have death.
No one brings it. We running out of sharp brand death L. Unfortunate. Can't be
Get
helped.
across the wall. Oops.
Yeah. No
I
worries.
see.
Let's take a hit. It's okay.
Yeah, I can help. I can,
Worst case, you die.
well.
No, you won't die for
It's
one.
okay.
Yeah.
We've got Aldous. They can carry you. They got it here. I'll win first. Nice.
Win should always be second. You guys don't know how this works. Because, second wind. Okay, lah, sorry for the lame puns.
Yeah. You're gonna keep getting buffed out if you do that.
Once his stance is on, that's why. But it's okay, lah, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, it's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh my god. Okay.
We last,
We
we last.
Oh my god.
Okay, now coming through this hallway here, if you see a treasure coffer, right, it's a bonus chest. Okay, no, it's not a bonus chest. It means you forgot to pick up the Raiden coffer earlier on. If you see a treasure coffer here, it means you forgot to pick up the Raiden treasure coffer earlier on. So please remember to pick it up. Okay, we are retracing our steps back to the original set of 6 rooms. There will be new mobs that spawn, so help to dispatch the mobs. Now, tanks, please turn off your tank stances if you don't intend to pull mobs. Okay, do note that we have just finished the rooms. Your stances may be on. Please ensure that your stances are turned off so that you don't rip enmity and accidentally die when you're not expecting it. Now, after we dispatch the mobs in this hallway, okay, this particular hallway, there's something to point out here. There will be 3 mobs that needs to be accounted for. The first of which is this gigantic frog over here. Okay, so we are killing it. That's one. Further down the hall, there is a Biblos or Bibliotaph, okay, the book monster, and there will also be a centaur. Now, there's nothing really special about these mobs except the fact that they will wander around in the hall, walking into the rooms sometimes, and if we fail to account for them, they may reappear behind the alliance once we have walked past the room and start killing players from the rear. So we usually try to ensure that we've dispatched all 3 of them. Okay, so notice how the book is hiding behind the wall over there, trying to blend into the background, being all sus like Kelly is some of the times.
Well, at least you reduced it to some of the time.
I mean, it's all the time lah, but then you don't see her all the time, see, that's why.
Tormenting the fauna life in Genshin.
What's this?
Boop, boop, boop,
Okay,
boop.
so once this is done, what's gonna happen is that we are gonna wait for the support players to come in. So they have also just dispatched the support fate out there. There will be a 10-minute timer for them. Generally speaking, we would like to wait to allow them the time to get in to reach us here, and they'll be joining us for the second half of BA. Okay, so at this point of time, what's gonna happen is we're gonna take a short break. Okay, so let's rest for a while. We're gonna wait rest for about 6 minutes. So by X 14, okay, X 14 on the clock, be back. Okay, we will take about 6 to 7 minutes break. Okay, go get your coffee, tea, use the washroom, and be back in about 6 to 7 minutes. Now, do note that if you are going to be AFK for longer than that, if you AFK for 10 minutes, you will get kicked out of the instance. So be mindful not to AFK for more than 7 to 8 minutes lah. Okay, just be back in a reasonable amount of time. Okay, and I'll be back in a short while. Okay, I'm back. Okay, for those who are already who are still here or have come back from their break, if you have any questions, just feel free to ask them. Okay, you can use the Say chat, Yell chat, or Party chat as well. Now I'll be giving explanations on what to expect from the second half of BA in about 3 minutes. Okay, so by X17, as mentioned earlier on. Now for those of you who need shell slash protect, okay, Tomato is casting them at the rear. Now usually for elemental, we have this um, etiquette or behavior where if you need shell and protect, you will just go to the rear and line up to get it. Okay, it's not so pronounced here because some of us are AFK or going for a short break. But later on when we reach Ozma, we will do the same thing. If those who need shell and protect, be reminded to grab it from the rear of the alliance. Okay, someone will be casting it. Okay, so it's not Tomato lah. I think Tens. Is it Tens? Yeah, Tens is doing it. So I just grab it from Tens. But Tens is a Popoto now lah, so I think it's half as effective. Not as good as if Tens was not a Popoto. But
Oh.
you just take what you can get. It's fine. Popoto brand, share and protect.
Yay. Alright, I'm just gonna put you at north.
Alright. I mean, why not? You can just bring share and protect with you, right? Your 6 slots.
Shark, do you want another shell protect?
No,
You
thanks.
want-
No,
okay.
it's okay, it's okay. You and Tens deal with it lah. You and Tens
Uh,
decide who brings one for Ozma later. Or is Tens?
yeah, do you
Ah, okay. Then you'll do it later. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay lah. Still another 2 minutes. So let's just chill a little bit. Chit chat. Have a bit of a chat. Let's see. I think today's run, the speed is quite reasonable, going slightly faster, so it's sort
Yeah.
of slightly better.
That is a surprise.
What do you mean that's a surprise? What are you talking about, dude? Hey.
Yeah.
Oh no.
But yeah, today I'll be running another VA later on at 7 p.m. my time, so it's another 3
Yeah, have fun.
hours. 3 hours from now.
3.5
Have
hours,
fun.
yeah.
So but that's for material. So on
Ava material out one.
My house is still there, so I still log in once every 30 days.
he already has one. He just doesn't play there.
Wait.
Yeah.
What?
He was part of the
I'm-
original injection group
Yeah.
that we sent over.
Yeah.
So he already has one there.
I mean, the population there is really stabilized. I done my job,
Wow.
It is now, isn't it? It's pretty
right? Yeah. So once I done my job, I can go. I mean, that was the arrangement, right? I mean, yeah.
good. Well, yeah, actually, that's exactly what we were planning on doing. We just ended up staying.
Yeah lah.
Yeah.
Not wrong. We still have
Yeah.
friends there.
Yeah, the friends we made on the way.
Actually, material pretty. They do more BA runs than we do. But
But you gotta remember the time frame though. We used to do so many more BA runs
I
like
mean
a
that's
couple
true.
of years ago.
That's true.
Yeah.
No,
Okay lah,
but
that, in a way, we have organic. So that's the difference, I guess.
yeah. As in elemental has random runs, as in we don't organize them. It just happens. Or okay, maybe we consider Ricky Leaky organizing is also considered as
Yeah.
organizing lah. But it just happens. The runs happen. Most of the time they happen during peak hours in the evenings or on the weekends in the evenings. The Japanese players, because we are predominantly on a JPDC, right, Japanese data center, so Japanese players tend to be on during the evening times after office hours. And because it's a content lull, the old content such as BA, Bosja, Zetnor will start to pick up again. Hence, the sort of increased number of players coming into BA every day. I heard they are doing one run every day or something. It's just crazy. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, it's already past X17, so I'm going to begin explanations on the second half of AV. So welcome back for those who are back here already. Okay, once again, gentle reminder for these explanations, do keep in mind to keep moving your character or camera. Okay, camera will do louder to move your character. Just rotate your camera or type a little bit. You may get auto kicked if you AFK for 10 minutes. I will begin explanations on the second half of AV. So welcome to the second half of the Baldian Arsenal, okay, of BA, sorry. From this point onwards, we'll be facing 3 more encounters. There'll be 2 boss fights. Absolute Virtue, also known as AV, okay, which is the boss in front of us right here. Okay, this is Absolute Virtue. He is a wind aspected boss and is the 3rd boss in this fight, in the Baldian Arsenal. After this boss, there'll be 2 trash mobs, okay, 2 Skatines or 2 owls, and subsequently there'll be Osma, the final boss in BA. Now from this point forwards, you will no longer be required to have some of the support actions such as Perception, you don't need Refresh, and all DPS players are generally expected to switch out their Plate Bearer or Defensive Wisdoms for offensive ones. Okay, the reason for this is simply because Boss 3 and Boss 4, okay, AV and Osma, have DPS checks. There are enraged timers for these. AV is 7 minutes 30 seconds long and Osma is 10 minutes 30 seconds long. Hence the need to push for better DPS. Not to mention that if you sort of scrub the mechanics, you fail to do the mechanics properly, you tend to just get one-shotted anyway. So the Plate Bearer or the extra HP doesn't actually save you. Okay, having said this, if you don't have any offensive wisdoms or you didn't prepare any, or because of unforeseen circumstances you died and you have to drop them, it's okay to just run with whatever you've got. Just try your best to stay alive. Okay, did DPS deal no DPS, so just try to keep yourself alive, okay, for the majority of this fight. Now, gentle reminder as well, for those who still need Shell and Protect, please look for tents at the rear. I see my party still have a couple of players who don't have it. You generally want to get Shell and Protect because it gives you, I think, like 10 to 20% damage reduction, which is quite hefty. So try to remember to grab Shell and Protect at the rear. Okay, Tens is at the back here. I'll point him out. If you approach him or eat, because it's a Boboto, approach it and then he will cast it on you. Get Shell and Protect at the rear. If he's dropping off, also just go and get a refresh. Okay, this explanation will take probably about 6 to 7 minutes. I'll try to keep it brief, but a few things to explain. Okay, now Absolute Virtue is a wind aspected boss, so rotate your Magia to the correct element. Okay, only the main tank should be on defensive wind. Everyone else should be on offensive ice. If you are DPS, okay, if you're a healer, you have the luxury of choosing whether you want to focus on offense or defense. Okay, if you're new or you are not sure that you will survive it, just stay on defense and just focus on keeping yourself alive as a healer. Okay, your heals are generally more important than your DPS. If you die, then your party loses the healing. So try to keep yourself alive. Now, Absolute Virtue is a wind aspected boss, and its main mechanics are IDOS. Now, IDOS will place bracelets on its wrists and a halo above its head. Now, these accessories or the bracelets plus halo will be either a light or dark color, and to resolve his mechanics, you need to go to the opposite color. Now, the mechanic will manifest itself in 2 different ways. The first is puddles of both colors will appear in the arena, and you will need to move away from the dangerous color. Now, for the purposes of this explanation, I will assume that the dangerous color is the dark color. So, both light and dark color puddles will appear. After a short amount of time, the dangerous color, the dark color puddles will expand and all the puddles will explode. Okay, what you need to do is move yourself away from the dangerous color, usually hugging the safe color puddle, either at the edge of the arena or in between 2 puddles of the safe color. Now, in a pinch, if you're not sure where to go, try to follow the crowd. The majority of players will be running to the same safe spots. If you follow them, generally speaking, it should be okay. Okay, but try your best to hug a safe color either near the wall or in between two safe colored puddles. Okay, after a short amount of time, the puddles will expand. Okay, the dangerous colors will expand and they all will explode. When they explode, you cannot be standing on any of them as well. But do note that you can run over them to get to the safe spot. You just cannot be standing in them when they explode. Okay, not to worry. If people DC, we will generally do a ready check once we are ready to begin. So this explanation will generally give them enough time to reconnect back again. Okay, but just keep in mind to move around ever so slightly once in a while. Okay, now next, the second mechanic is impact stream. Oops. Okay, impact stream. Now impact stream will split the arena into two halves, and each will be either a light or dark half. I will call out go to light, or go to dark, go to dark. Okay, just go to the safe color, okay, which is the opposite from his bracelet's color. And healers, remember to heal through this mechanic. Okay, even though players are doing it correctly by staying on the correct half, they will still take a little bit of damage. Remember to heal through. Now midway through the fight, AV will disappear, become untargetable, and fire off 3 clones will spawn around the edge and fire off impact stream one after another. We will usually be stacked near the center, rotate to defensive Magia, which is on wind. Okay, manually rotate because there's no target, so manually rotate to defensive, and just pop some mitigations, use Hurricane potions if you have brought any, and just healers just keep healing. Okay, there's no DPS to be done during this point of time, so just resolve the mechanic appropriately. Okay, at the end of it all, I'll ask you to run out and run back in. Just do so. Okay, so this is impact stream. Now the third and most important mechanic is called turbulent aether. Now turbulent aether will target 8 random players, except for the main tank.
Okay.
My
Your
microphone,
mic.
yeah, it cut out there.
Yeah.
I can hear. Okay, but turbulent aether will target 8 random players with an orb and tether mechanic, and that orb and tether will either be a light or dark color. I will call this out. I'll say turbulent aether, check for tether, check for tether. At that point of time, once you see the tethers appear, look and see if you have the tether. Now it is imperative that you check for the tether, because if you have the orb and tether, you must deal with the mechanic. Failure to do so will hurt you and everyone else around you. In other words, one, or in this case a handful of players, need to deal with the mechanic to prevent wiping everyone else. Like if everyone just stands around and they don't do the mechanic, it explodes. Can you just help me type out explanations, because someone asking for ET. Thanks. Okay, now for the orb and tether mechanic, to resolve it, just pull yourself. If you have the orb and tether, pull yourself to a puddle of the opposite color. So if you have a light orb and tether, you need to find a dark puddle and stand in the dark puddle. Wait for the orb to touch you. Now when the orb contacts you, it will explode. So during the time period when you're looking for the puddles, don't let the orb touch you, or don't run into the orb. If you do so, it will explode, hurting or killing you and everyone else around you. Okay, hence just look out for the orb and tether mechanic. Now find a puddle of the opposite color. There'll be exactly enough. Okay, there'll be exactly 8 orb and 8 puddles for the orb and tethers. So find one, stand in it, let the orb touch you, it explodes, but because you're in the puddle, it will mitigate the incoming damage. And then once the orb and tether exploded, orb explodes, you have resolved it, come back to the party for shields and heals. Now do note that you cannot share puddles. There's exactly one for everyone, so try and find one for yourself, step in it. If someone steps in it first, just look around, there will be another one. Now in a pinch, if you really cannot find one, okay, it's very messy during this point of time and you can't see it or you can't find it, rotate yourself to defensive quickly, pull yourself to the edge of the arena. Okay, why the edge? Because if you're not going to resolve the mechanic properly, at least don't blow it up in the center where everyone is stacked together. That will damage everyone, killing some of them, as well as putting a damage down debuff on everyone who is hit, which will hurt our DPS check. Okay, hence try to resolve the mechanic. If you can't do it, don't take down everyone else around you. Okay, try your best to resolve it whenever you can. Okay, this is Turbulent Aether. 8 random players will get it. Try to pay attention to this mechanic. Okay, now, final things to take note of before we do ready checks and begin. There will be 2 ads that spawn in this fight. Now, for this fight, we have assigned 2 tanks to pick up the ads. Now, Nathan will be the main tank. I'm taking the north ad, and Fish is taking the south ad. Now, these 2 tanks basically will just rotate to defensive, turn on stance, and grab the ads, hold them in place so that all the DPS can burn them down. The ads, if left alive for too long, will enrage, cast explosion, and it's as bad as it sounds. So DPS focus on the ads when they appear. Do note that ads are thunder aspected, so some Magia rotation is necessary to burn the ads down, rotate from ice to earth, burn the ads, rotate back to ice, continue to burn AV. Okay, I will mention it if necessary. Okay, but focus on the ads. If you have Def L, Swift Cast, Def L, and it sticks, the ad dies instantly. It's a massive DPS boost. Okay, so just burn the ads down. Now, the last thing to mention is Nathan will be our main tank for this fight. So, if Nathan can just emote. Now, tank busters in this fight will be an AoE around the main tank. So, whenever I call out for tank buster, you will want to avoid the main tank. For this, okay, Nathan is here. I'm going to point them out. You might wish to mark the main tank with a sign, okay, either a cookie, circle, square, triangle, something. Do note that waymarks and signs are party specific, so only your party can see the marker. Help your party mark the main tank with a marker so that when the tank buster is incoming, people can see, oh, the main tank is here, move away from the main tank. Do not get clipped by the AoE tank buster. Okay, it will be a circular explosion around the main tank. Nathan will try their best to move away from other players, but if you crowd around them, then there's no way for them to go. Then you just gotta eat the tank master with them lah. That's too bad. Okay, so just help to avoid the popoto lah. Okay, they are very small, so sometimes you might just accidentally step on them. Unfortunate, but it happens with popotos. Okay, so that's it for all the explanations. Don't I mean, I won't die if you try to kill me with the tank buster, but I'm a tank. But you might take out some other players as collateral damage. Okay, at this point of time, we're going to just do ready checks. Now, for those players who are here with us and who are ready, kindly just step forwards beyond the purple line. Okay, step forwards beyond the purple line into the arena to let us know that you are ready. Okay, at the same time, as the ready checks are going out, if there's anyone who is not ready, please sound off lah. Okay, let us know that they are not back yet or they're not here. Okay, I'll give you like about 40 seconds or so that any ready checks can conclude. If they are not ready, please let us know. Okay, then we will wait for them if necessary. Because if they miss this fight, they're not going to get the loot from the AV fight. Okay, if you sit out the fight, you're not going to get the loot from the fight. Okay, last few things to mention here before we get ready to start. Okay, the boss itself is wind aspected, if I mentioned earlier on. Okay, like I mentioned earlier on, so rotate to the correct element. Use food. If you haven't done so already. Okay, food will have dropped off. It's been more than 30 minutes since we started. Okay, actually more than 45 minutes or so. So use some food. Tank stances. Tanks, do your tank stance check. Okay, make sure your Spirit of the Remember is on. If you have wisdoms, remember to use it. Okay, press your wisdoms. Okay, and I think most of us are here. So we will be starting at ET 1500. Okay, ET 1500, if you would be so kind. Okay, we'll be starting at 1500 on the clock. Now, range DPS once again, as is the norm. Fire off the limit break LB2 at 1458, LB1 at 1459. Okay, range or caster LB only. Okay, just use it, if not, it will be wasted. Okay, and just stay cool, listen to callouts, try our best. Okay, if we stay cool, everything will be fine. Okay, if you die, spirit procs, you get back up. Remember to crack a new spirit immediately, or at least go to a safe spot and crack a new spirit. Okay, to try to stay alive as much as you can, but if he doesn't pop, then unfortunately you're gonna stay dead. We'll pick you up after the fight concludes. Okay, now we are ready to start LB2 now. LB1 fired off and main tank established. Red, wide. First mechanic is puddles away from light puddles, away from light puddles. Now the first time he does it is just one color puddle. Subsequent casts will have two colored puddles. Now come close to AV, come close to AV. He follows it up with Medusa Javelin. It's a large conal like this. You want to stay close to AV for the majority of this fight to avoid it when he to avoid the javelin whenever he does it. Now, impact stream, go to dark, stay on the dark side. Okay, again, this is one of the reasons why you need to stay close to AV. He will bisect the arena in a random split. Tank buster on main tank, away from main tank. Okay, away from light puddles, away from light puddles. Okay, there's an uptime spot at where the main tank is standing for melee's uptime. There'll be red whites and then turbulent aether soon. Red wide. And turbulent aether. Now check for tether, check for tether. If you have a tether, get ready to resolve it. Wait for the Medusa Javelin and go. Okay, once the Javelin appears, run to a nearby puddle. Resolve your mechanic. Tank buster incoming. Tank buster away from main tank. Pop the ops. Come back to your party for shields and heals. Red, wide. Another red, wide. Now after this, AV is going to become invulnerable, untargetable and fire off 3 impact streams. We're going to stack in the middle, rotate to defensive mega, use mitigations, shields and heals. 3 incoming impact streams. Go to light, go to light. Remember to heal and shield. Go to light, go to light. Last one will be dark. Go to dark. Now after this, pop sprint, run away from the proximity in the middle, all the way out, and come back in after AV lands. Go back in, he fires a Medusa Javelin after this. Rotate back to offense. Finally, orientate yourself away from the main tank. There will be a tank buster on the main tank. Tank buster. Red, wide. More tethers soon with ads. Now, ads are up, ads are coming up. Focus target on the ads. Do note they are a different element. Tethers, check for tethers, wait for the javelin and go. Okay, if you have a tether, resolve your tether. Tank buster. Okay, resolve your mechanics, come back to the party for shields and heals. Red, wide. Okay, more puddles. This is away from dark puddles, away from dark puddles. Okay, away from the proximity, away from the proximity. Come back close to the center, come close to the center. This is dark, stay on dark. Okay, this is why you need to be near the center. Stay close, okay, nice, it's dead. Okay, now, grab the treasure coffer at the front of the arena, and all the DPS plus tanks can move ahead to the ads. There will be, there's one dead player, so let the healers deal with it. Okay, we try not to crowd around the dead players because it makes it hard for the healers to see and click on them. Okay, but let the healers deal with it. Thanks very much, healers. Now we'll progress forwards to up the stairs. There is 2 trash mobs here. Now these 2 trash mobs are here for us to build gauges. Okay, they are meant as DPS batteries for us to build our, you know, samurai sand stickers, ninja bavra kavra gauges, red mage black and white mana, warrior beast gauge, etc, etc. Use them to build your gauge. Don't waste your gauge on them. They are meant to build up our openers for the final boss fight after this. Do note that they will cast a skill called On the Properties of Darkness, which must be stunned. Usually a tank will help to stun it. Okay, I, as a paladin, I will keep my shield bash ready, so I will interrupt if I need to. Okay, just build your gauges slowly. Okay, do not insta-kill them, do not death-L them. Okay, they are meant to for us to build gauge. Man, it's dying so quickly. Nice. Second one. Okay, and after this, this one is dead. There will be a cutscene. First time players enjoy the cutscene. Okay, and I'll begin explanations for Ozma, the last fight in the Baldisian Arsenal. Okay, enjoy the cutscene. Okay, for those who, I keep reusing the same joke, but it screams geometrically when it comes down. Look, what's this?
Oh, you got another one.
Yeah, another one tosses it into the pile.
Thank God.
Alright, the cutscene's over. Welcome to Ozma. First things first, everyone. There's gonna be a few things to deal with here, so get buckled in. We are going to start explanations. We have 30 minutes. I'll try to keep this brief. We will try to do it within 8 minutes, and then we'll get started. Now, first things first, those who need a refresh on the Shell Protect, okay, make sure your Shell Protect should have at least 20 minutes. So ideally that's everyone. Okay, everyone go get a refresh on the Shell Protect. Go and line up at the back, get your Shell Protect, bow, say thank you to the Popotos casting it at the rear. Okay, they're both Popotos, by the way. And it's slice them in half so you go faster. 2 halves will cast it twice as fast. Okay, so just get a Shell and Protect at the rear, say thank you, bow to Tomato, and step out of the line so that the next person can get their Shell and Protect. Now while that's going on, welcome to Ozma. Ozma is the final fight in the Baldisian Arsenal, and to get your achievement and shiny ball mount, you need to clear the Ozma fight to get it. Now to do so, you need to be in the Ozma arena when Ozma is killed. Okay, the phrasing on this is very specific. You need to be in the Ozma arena when Ozma is killed to count as a clear. You can be dead, however, periodically every 2 minutes, Ozma will eject dead players from the Ozma arena. So if you are dead in 2 minutes, every 2 minutes in the fight, if you are dead lying on the floor, Ozma kicks you out and your run is essentially over. So I will explain how to prevent that from happening in these explanations, but do understand that you need to try to stay alive as much as you can in this fight. We cannot carry you through this fight. Try your best to stay alive for the Ozma fight itself. Okay, now, Ozma mechanics. Once you've gotten your Shell and Protect at the rear, you can carefully make your way to the front. Now, do be careful not to step on the shiny, glowy button at the front. If you do so, you'll be propelled onto the Osma Arena, and I get very nervous when people jump down early, because early pulls do happen every once in a while. And if that happens, then whoever's down there is just dead lah. Okay, if you jump down there and someone early pulls, everyone down there just dies. Okay, so just stay up here until the explanations are done. Now, if you look at the Osma Arena, or either or open your mini map, you will see that the Osma Arena is a ring-shaped donut platform, okay, a ring-shaped or donut-shaped platform with 3 rectangular-shaped protuberances on the east, west, and south. We are going to split our main alliance into 3 groups: 1 east, 1 west, and 1 south, with a main tank tanking each platform. If we have more than 8 players on each platform, there will be additional parties known as sub-tank or ST parties. You may have noticed that some of us, okay, the regulars or the experienced players will be yelling out, okay, for example, Kelly Siorasuki, 224 West MT. So Kelly's party, my party, is 2 tanks, 2 healers, 4 DPS. We are going to the west platform. We are the main tank for the west platform. Okay, Nathan's party, 1, 2, 5 East MT pin flare. Nathan's party, 1 tank, 2 healers, 5 DPS. They'll be taking the east platform main tank. They will also be handling the pin flare mechanic. Okay, I think Nathan and Tamamo, you all are both you all discuss who wants to do pin flare lah. Okay, both of you volunteer for pin flare.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're already sorted.
Yeah. So
Yep.
normally for pin flare, okay, pin flare is a mechanic that the healers will deal with, usually assigned to the ST party, okay, the support or sub-tank parties. But in this case, we just need 1 healer to deal with it. If a healer knows how to handle it, they will usually say they will handle it. If you're new or your party is unable to handle it, let us know so that the MT party can deal with it. Okay, usually it's assigned to by default it goes to the ST party on that platform. But if the ST party cannot deal with it, let the alliance know so that we can get someone to handle it. Okay, thanks Kelly. Kelly will be helping me to sort this out as I'm delivering explanations. So Kelly will help me to sort all these lah. Okay, while that's going on, I'm going to do the explanations. Okay, once again, gentle reminder, just keep yourself moving, but I shouldn't take more than 10 minutes. Okay, I'll try to keep it brief. Now, Osma mechanics. There are 3 main mechanics you need to look out for the Osma fight, and you need to handle all of these mechanics to stay to give us a chance to clear, not just to stay alive, but to give us a chance to clear. Now, the issue with the Osma mechanics is that one player messing up the mechanics can wipe everyone else.
Your mic.
Hello,
Just saying.
testing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we can hear you now.
Yeah, my microphone
Yeah,
is a bit
Pause.
sensitive. If I move a bit too much, the wire comes loose, and I probably need to get a new one soon. Okay, but thank you for letting me know. Okay, now 3 main mechanics to explain. Okay, I'll try to keep it brief before my mic cuts out again. The first mechanic is meteors. Now, meteors occur during the spike ball and triangle forms of Osma, and 2 random players per platform is marked with a massively huge AoE marker. If you have it, you gotta deal with it. Please handle the meteor. When the meteors appear, you can't miss it. It's freaking obvious because it's massive. The AoE is massive. But you need to stop and identify if you have it. If you have it, you got to put it at the rear right corner of the platform, or to the left in the clockwise position on the ring-shaped platform. There's a button there. Now later when we jump down to the actual platform itself, we will place waymarks for all the parties. Okay, every party help to place waymarks for your party to mark out where to plant the meteors. There should only be 2 for everyone. One will be at the rear right corner of the platform. The other will be to the left on the ring-shaped platform. There's a circle button on the left. Okay, it's very important that you go to the left, because if you go to the right, the other party on your right will collide with you, and they will have nowhere to place the meteor, killing everyone or massively damaging everyone on both platforms. Hence, it is important everyone goes to the left. Okay, here on Elemental, we follow clockwise strats. We go to the left. Okay, as Liara always say, to the left, always go to the left. Okay, clockwise, facing Osma. So meteors, place 1 to the rear, 1 to the left. Try to adjust. We don't know beforehand who gets the meteors. You must adjust. If someone goes to the rear and you have the other meteor, make a beeline to the left, pop sprint if you have to. Try to commit to the left or to the rear. Try your best to adjust. Okay, another thing to note is you cannot stack the meteors. Do not place them on the same spot. If that happens, they both land, collide, explode, instantly blasting everyone on that platform as well. Try to space them apart in a pinch. Okay, but try to place them where you're supposed to place them to give the players a chance to survive it. Okay, meteors generally wipes BA runs, because if you misplace the meteor on the center, everyone dies on that platform. Okay, everyone on that platform just dies. So try your best to handle meteors. Okay, not much else to say about it. See meteors, adjust, place it properly, come back to your party for shields and heals. Okay, so that's mechanic number 1, meteors. Now mechanic number 2, acceleration bombs. Now acceleration bombs happen during the triangle form of Ozma, and a number of randomly selected players will be marked with a debuff that counts down. Okay, the debuff I've heard is anywhere from 8 seconds all the way up to 24 seconds or 16 seconds, something around there. Okay, it's a random number. It will count down. As it counts down to 5 seconds or less, you will see a visible dice icon appear above your head. Now again, you need to identify if you have it. If you have the acceleration bomb mechanic, okay, or the acceleration bomb debuff, you need to stop moving when it starts to count down from 5 or less. Okay, when it hits 1 or less, okay, it's sort of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then it sort of snapshots at 1. You got to be not moving, not casting, not attacking, not auto attacking as well. If you're ranged DPS, stop auto attacking by deselecting Ozma or sheathing your weapon, okay, to stop auto attacks from triggering the Excel bomb. If you don't do anything, it just fizzles, it just drops off, nothing happens, you have resolved it. But if you move, cast, or auto attack, it explodes, shaving away 90% of you and everyone else's around you HP. It is percentage based, cannot be mitigated, and everyone else will drop to 10%. Healers need to panic heal, spam the cure tree sucker AoE heals to top up everyone before the next mechanic. Usually it's a meteor. Okay, usually a meteor comes after Excel bombs before it lands and kills everyone. So try your best to resolve Excel bombs. Okay, please, 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 Excel bomb and meteors, they are the raid killer number 1 and number 2 respectively. Okay, now the third mechanic is black hole. In between forms, every 2 minutes, Ozma changes into a sphere form, which is what you see here now, and Ozma does black hole. Now, to resolve black hole, every player needs to be on a button. Okay, there will be 6 buttons in the arena, but you are only responsible for the button on your platform and the button to the left of your platform. Okay, so everyone on the platform either be in the button on your platform or the button to the left. Now, for accountability purposes, we usually assign range or caster DPS to go to the left because they don't lose uptime as they run to the left. But anyone can be on any button, and all 6 buttons must be accounted for. If any one button has no one on it, we all wipe. Okay, we all get ejected into Hydatos and the run is over. If you are not on a button, or even if you are on a button but you are dead on the button, you will get sucked out of the Ozma arena and end up in Hydatos outside. Now, if that does happen, unfortunately your run is over, but do kindly stay with the party because the party fighting inside will have access to LB3 with you in it. If you rage quit and leave the party, leave the instance, the party loses their limit break 3, okay, screwing the party over from a chance to use it. So kindly stay with us until the fight is over. Regardless of whether we clear or not, we will give it our best shot, but don't rage quit or don't leave the party until the fight concludes. Okay, that is black hole. Everyone must be on a button. All 6 buttons must be accounted for. If you are new, just go to the nearest button, any button. Ensure that you are on the button to prevent yourself from getting kicked out. Okay, now last few things to mention before we ready check and get started. There will be 2 knockbacks in this fight. The first is called Shooting Star. It's a radial knockback pattern from the center, pushing you away from the button in the middle. I will call out get knocked to the front, get knocked to the front, or get knocked to the rear, get knocked to the rear. Be pushed to either towards Ozma, the front, or away from Ozma, the rear. Try to avoid being pushed to the sides because sometimes you angle yourself incorrectly and you will fly off the platform. Dropping off the platform kills you and you end up or respawn on the south platform. If you do fall off, do note that you will end up on the south platform. If your spirit procs and you get back up, quickly find the chance to go back to your original platform for the heals. Now, last one. During the square form, there is a small little pushback called Holy. Now, for Holy, it will push you away from the Ozma in the center towards the rear of the platform. During the fight, there may be calls to go to the rear or get off the platform. So you will be called to go to the rear of the platform, but away from the very edge of the rear, because there will be a small incoming knockback. You will hear me say, go to the rear, small incoming knockback. This means you need to go to the back of the platform, but avoid standing at the very edge of the rear to avoid getting punted off the back of the platform. Okay, so that is it for all the explanations. Any questions? Okay, if you have questions, now is the best time to ask. At the same time, all parties will do a ready check. We want to ensure that everyone is ready. Once we start jumping down, we must all be prepared for the fight to start. Okay, as a rule of thumb, the moment we jump down, tanks, try to quickly go to your positions and have your stances ready, because if someone early pulls, the fight starts instantly. Okay, but try to avoid targeting Osma. Okay, jumping down carefully, do not fall off the platform. Do not fall off the platform, you will die. Do not target Osma. Do not target Osma. If someone attacks Osma early, the fight starts instantly. So carefully go to your correct platforms. All parties help place waymarks for your party members. Osma is thunder expected, and there will be no mega rotation in this fight. Okay, there's only this element for this entire fight. So just be on the correct element. There's no rotating at all. Use food if necessary. The fight is 10 minutes and 30 seconds long for enrage. Okay, use food. Tanks, main tanks stances on, everyone else. Okay, all the sub tanks stance off. Make sure you have Spirit of the Remembered on, and we will do set a pull time to get started. Okay, now if there's anyone who is not ready, please sound off. Okay, if not, I'm gonna assume that everyone is down here already and we'll be ready to begin. We will be starting in ET 2300. Okay, 2300, if you'll be so kind. Okay, giving us about 35 ET for last minute preparations and to calm your nerves before the fight starts. Okay, now check for waymarks. Make sure all waymarks are present. Pro tips. Now LB2 will be at 2258. LB1 is 2259. Range or caster or melee LB as well. You can melee LB Osma, but be careful not to touch Osma's hitbox if you are a melee DPS. BVD's pro tip number 69. Do not touch the ball. If you touch it, it will aggro onto you and the fight starts immediately. If you are unsure, let the ranged or casters do it instead. If you are new and it's your first time here, this fight is nerve-wracking and it's making you nervous, BVD's pro tip number 67. Lower the BGM or set it to 0. Open your system menu, system config, go to the sound settings and drag the BGM to 0 or type in /BGM space 0. Fight has been started. Tanks establish enmity. Okay, don't worry, stay calm, focus on the fight, just breathe in, breathe out, keep the main tanks alive. We'll start off with heavy hitting tank buster like auto attacks on the main tank. Okay, someone early pull, but don't worry about it. Go to the rear, go to the rear. Okay, everyone to the rear. Spike ball form, staying stacked, move forwards together as a group. The spike ball form does a split damage auto attack that must be shared. If you take it, or if you get close and take it by yourself, you're gonna die. Incoming knockback to the front. Okay, wait for the marker to appear, get knocked to the front. Arm's length and surecast works as well. Black hole 1 soon. Okay, black hole 1, everyone to a button, everyone to a button. All 6 buttons must be accounted for. You must be on a button. Once the animation has gone off, you can step off the button. We are back to heavy hitting tank buster like auto attacks on the main tank. Keep the main tanks alive. Movement mechanic. Get off the platform, get off the platform. Main tanks get off last. Main tanks go in first. Double movement mechanic incoming. Will be moving to the front, stay to the front, and then go to the rear afterwards. Go to the rear now. Staying stacked, move forwards together as a group. Meteors incoming, meteors incoming, meteors go. Try to adjust. Place your meteors and come back to the party for shields and heals. There will be an incoming knockback. Wait for the meteors to land, knock to the front. Burn adds, stay stacked. Okay, these ads just burn them down. Help to AoE them. Nice. Movement mechanic. Knockback to the rear. Knockback to the rear. Wait for the donut. Wait for the donut. Okay, and move forwards together as a group. If you die and spirit procs, crack another spirit. Black hole 2 soon. Black hole 2. Go to a button, be on a button. All 6 buttons must be accounted for. Once the animation has gone off, you can step off the button. Movement mechanic. We are moving off the platform, get off the platform. Main Osma. Go to the front afterwards. Go to the front now. Staying stacked away from the tank. Tank pop orbs and bait line AoEs away from the party. Try not to hit your tank with the stack marker. Small incoming knockback. Continue to bait line AoEs away from the party. Square form is the best form to DPS. It's free DPS window, just burst it or burn it. Movement mechanic. We are moving to the rear. To the rear, small incoming knockback. Stay away from the edge. Wait for the donut. Continue to bait line AoEs away from the party. Black hole 3 soon. Black hole 3. Everyone to a button, everyone to a button. All 6 buttons must be accounted for. Once the animation has gone off, you can step off the button. Movement mechanic. We are moving to the rear. Be to the rear and then get off the platform afterwards. Get off the platform now. Triangle form. Meteors and Excel bombs. Get ready. Bait pain. Excel bombs have gone out. Look out for Excel bombs. Okay, Excel bombs stop moving. Meteors go. Meteors go. Try to adjust. Place the meteor and come back to your party for shields and heals. Burn adds. Continue to bait pain. Movement mechanic. Go to the rear. Go to the rear. Excel bombs have gone out. Okay, Excel bombs, watch out. Continue to bait pain. Black hole 4 soon. black hole 4. Be on a button, everyone must be on a button, all 6 buttons must be accounted for. Now if you have LB3 for DPS and no healer needs to use it, this is a good time to fire it off quickly. Movement mechanic. Okay, hold on the LBs. Get off the platform, main tanks get off last. Go to the rear afterwards. Go to the rear now. Staying stacked, move forwards together as a group. Meteors incoming. Meteors, go. Place your meteors and come back to the party for shields and heals. There will be an incoming knockback. Get knocked to the front after the meteors have landed. Burn ads. Stay stacked. Okay, we'll try to kill it before black hole happens. Yeah, so we can save the players who are dying here.
Yeah.
Okay, commit, but watch out for the knockback to the rear. Nice.
Yeah, good.
Very nice.
Ooh.
That was a bit spicy at the last.
Just a little bit. There's a couple of people that got sucked out. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. 3 in the morning.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
That was actually awesome. Thank you.
nice.
Yeah, you got your clear. Nice. I'm very happy
Yeah.
for you, Kiro. Congrats to everyone who got their clear.
Was it sweaty? No, it's not. If it's not your first time, it's not that bad. Yeah, usually it's the first timers who get really nervous for the first time. But other than that, I think it was quite smooth. Okay, now if it's your first time clearing, you got to yeet yourself off the platform into the toilet bowl. Okay, this is a tradition that we all practice nowadays. So first timers, just yeet yourself in. You will end up in the south platform. Okay, and there's a couple of things I'd just like to briefly mention before we wrap up for today. So congrats once again for everyone for those who have cleared. Now, for those who, okay, first things first, if you jump off the platform, you will end up in the south platform. We're going to take screenshots here at the south platform. So for those who want to take screenshots, just face yourself away from the exit sign, okay, pointing away from the exit, and just stand around here. Those who want to take G poses for first time clearers, please go ahead and take your screenshots here. Okay, there will be a treasure coffer on the south platform as well. Now this treasure coffer, it gives you a cloth and seal. This cloth and seal is actually used to buy the body piece. Okay, 3 cloths for 1 cloak or 2 seals for 1 Kirin or Sode. Okay, ideally you can sell them on the market board. You can give them to friends, ask them to join you for BA runs in future. If you have any friends who are new, have never done it before, you can contribute it to them to get them to get started, okay, on their own BA clears. Okay, we're always looking and encouraging people to join us for BA runs, so feel free to encourage your friends to come in. Okay, you can ask if they have questions or need help. You can ask on the Discord. Now our Discord has 2 channels. The Eureka Lounge channel is for general chat and all sorts of degen chat. So you but you really want to ask questions in the Eureka Questions channel. Okay, there's a large pool of veteran players who are there to who help to answer all the questions. Okay, players like Nia, Eric, okay, Tomato, myself, etc. Kelly. Okay, we all help to answer questions in the Eureka Questions channel. Feel free to ask any questions you may have in the Eureka Questions channel. Okay, now other than that, those who didn't clear, okay, I do apologize, but again, it is one of those things that where you have to try to avoid getting sucked out from the Osma black holes. Thankfully, now that you have seen the entire run from start to finish, okay, you can come back for okay, I will host these runs once every month. Okay, usually at near the end of the month, the last weekend or second last weekend of the month. Okay, once every month if I can. Okay, but you don't have to wait for me to host these practice runs. Ideally, now that you have seen the entirety of BA, feel free to join pug runs. Okay, now pug runs are run ever so often, usually on weekends or weekday evenings during peak hours. Okay, JPDC here on Elemental, we tend to people tend to host pug runs. Just feel free to jump in, join them, be prepared, know what to do. Join the runs, yell for a party or shout for a party, they'll pick you up. and just YOLO, have fun, just wing it, and you will generally be able to clear lah. Frankly speaking, the clear rate has been pretty good on elemental. I'd say almost every day there'll be at least one run or more. Okay, and they tend to clear quite regularly. So feel free to join the public runs every so often. Okay, we will sometimes host team runs and my scheduled practice runs. Okay, but usually the public players, the randoms, they'll just post PFs, and you can look out for them in the party finder. They will tell you when they are hosting or running a BA. Just join them, and have fun. Okay.
Yes.
Now, last
Have
and
fun.
not least, thanks so much for all the veterans. Kelly for doing organizing. She's been the main organizer for all of my practice runs. Okay, but I don't pay her, so it's okay. Uh,
He beats me up in private, you know that. Like,
whoa,
he's
whoa, whoa,
totally
whoa, whoa, whoa there. That's not true.
It's
Box.
called Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, box. Yeah, box. Uh-huh. But yeah, so thanks Kelly for helping me do the organization. Okay, as well as all the veterans. There's a number of veterans who join us for these runs. Okay, they usually people like Ava. If today Ava rare appearance, I hardly see him. He'll go away for MIA for another 6 more months after this.
Yeah, I got married, that's why.
It's called getting married. But yeah, so people like Ava, Valista, okay, Tomato, Neve is also one of the veterans from Materia, created out here. But he hasn't joined us. He level 50 only. I saw he only EL 50, but he'll be joining us in future. People like Dix, Nia as well. Nia helps me to scout for the instances, but she usually can't make it for the actual runs itself. But thanks very much for helping as well. So there's quite a number of veterans who are behind the scenes. They don't actually sign up for the runs, but they join us, help us carry DPS, bring the sacrifices, bring the perception, do all the main roles and responsibilities, and generally be an assistance to me during these runs. So actually a lot of the hard work is their doing. Yeah, I'm just here as a shot caller and to just call out things, explain things, but they are the ones actually carrying the run. So thanks very much, guys. I really appreciate it. Okay, for those who wish to join us for future runs, okay, just keep a lookout in our Discord channels. Okay, feel free to ask questions, hang around. Okay, there's a nice community going on here. So look out for us in future BA runs. Okay, and I'll see you guys around for the future lah. If you have questions, just ask in our Discord. Okay, if not then have a good weekend. It's about dinner time. I'm going for dinner and then another BA run in Materia in about 3 hours, 2.5. Yeah. So I'll see you guys around. Thanks, guys. Have fun.
Yes. I'm going.
Alright, go
Bye.
eat. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for my.
Thanks again.
Welcome. I hope you had fun. Look out for more if you wish to join.
Yeah, I'll probably join your second one that you're doing on Mana.
Alright guys, that was it for today's BA run. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys had fun. If you have questions, you can ask in our Discord channel. Okay, there's usually a link somewhere. And I'll see you guys later on for the Materia BA run.